I was really like please reserve it. It's not supposed to be known. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Miss Frank's channel, where we are quite frank about everything. So I'm doing this video on a Sunday afternoon, and oftentimes when I just have a free Sunday afternoon, I'm like, probably we should do a vlog or two and just put my thoughts out there, because there's a lot of meditations and thoughts I have, and I oftentimes want to put them out there, but there's just a but that I can't really explain. So to start it off, we are really going to start on a very high note, and I want to actually be frank about this. It's hardly talked about, it's hardly mentioned, and so let's dive into it. So we are going to talk about virginity. Drum rolls. And it's hardly talked about out there, and there's a lot of ends in this conversation, but oh well. I want us to really have a candid conversation about virginity in this century, the 21st century. So I'll be sharing with you guys my experience. So actually this goes out to all ladies out there, like, hey, hello, yes, and also to gentlemen, yeah, kabisa, yeah. So stay tuned. So I'm going to be sharing from a very personal experience of this journey, that when the thoughts of virginity began to click my mind was in the year 2021. Should be around March. Yeah, I noted the whole story down on a journal, and I'll be doing a few referrals to it. Yeah, I actually began writing in November 2021, but this whole story like popped up in March 2021. So yes, I was working in a particular facility. For context, I'm in the medical field, and it was a government facility, and actually there was a campaign against cervical cancer. So, and how do you campaign against it? So I'll be doing a little teaching as I even get you into it to understand, for context and understanding. So let's talk a little bit about cervical cancer. Allow me to digress as we talk about virginity. Cervical cancer, it's a cancer that affects the cervix. The cervix is a part of the uterus. Is a part of the uterus. Let's just stick at that. And cervical cancer is caused by a virus called human papilloma virus. Yes, human papilloma virus. And human papilloma virus is carried by men. Food for thought, eh? Interesting. That for as long as you're a virgin, you're not exposed to human papilloma virus, which is the virus that causes cervical cancer. But for as long as you've had contact with a man sexually, then you have exposed yourself to the virus, human papilloma virus. It's also called HPV. And the most interesting thing, or like really moment, is men do not know that they are actually the carriers of this virus. It's difficult for a man to know that I am a carrier. You see like the way in high school we studied about sickle cell disease, and this person can be a carrier. This one is dominant, the other one is I can't remember that name. You can remind me here down on the comment section, but basically that's it. Or even the same case applies for what do we call these? albinism. You can have a trait, you are a carrier. One is recessive, correct? Recessive is the word, and the other one is dormant or dominant. One of the two dominant, and the other one is recessive. So when you do the cross matching, your second born or third born or fourth born is the one now who is going to contract to either be sickle cell sick or carrier or born with it, or this one is going to be possess albinism traits. So you see all that. So what I'm trying to say is, with HPV, for a man, you cannot know whether you're a carrier. Okay, let me not say you cannot know, but I'm yet to research about it. So yes, that's what happens. So for just an educational tip, whenever you get to hear about cervical cancer, or anyone has cervical cancer, it means they at one time in their life been exposed to HPV virus through a man who they didn't know that they were carrying, and also the lady didn't know. So back to context. In this facility, they were doing a campaign for cancer, cervical cancer, and the campaign was by giving HPV virus vaccine, human papilloma virus vaccine. You see, like the way we had COVID-19 vaccine, giving the vaccine to children below, girls precisely below 10 years of age, because for sure they are aware that these girls haven't exposed themselves to sex at that particular time. So like, this is the most bit of sure bet est, that these girls are still virgins. So I got so much interested. I took too much of an interest in that, and I was like, wait, I think I qualify. I am a candidate for this vaccine since I've not exposed myself to the virus, and why not get the vaccine? So Miss Frankie here, yours truly, went on ahead and approached the nurse in the facility, and I told her, hey, I would actually want to get the vaccine. So I went on ahead. She actually gave me the vaccine. So it's a shot, 2 shots you take after 6 months. Yeah, it should be 6 months, because I took my first shot in September, in March 2021, and then took the second shot in September now. So it's just an injection. I am intramuscular, just goes through here to the deltoid. Okay, forgive all the medical terms, but I'm just trying to bring you into context all the way from a very medical perspective. So I got the jab, and there was actually nothing to feel. So they gave me a little card, HPV vaccine card, that it shows the time you got vaccine 1 and the time you got vaccine 2. So that's it, man. When I was I approached the nurse very confidently, and also in privacy, that she can give me the vaccine, and she actually did. And now, at the point where I took this vaccine, now this opens the door for the rest of the journey, or this was quite the beginning of my walk, or my deep thoughts into virginity, and it being out there in our present day community or society or century. So I remember when I was taking that first jab, we were in that child and welfare clinic room where vaccines are normally given. So she gave me the vaccine, and in the process, another nurse came in. So we were just the two of us, myself and the nurse who was giving the vaccine. Then another nurse just walked in, and one of my greatest expectations was this nurse who was giving me the vaccine was that she was going to uphold confidentiality in the presence of the other nurse. And what I expected was for her not to share it out with the nurse. So when the nurse came in, and the nurse not giving me the jab went like, nampatia HPV, like she's giving me the HPV vaccine, and then in her mind, the one being told, it rings all of these, like, oh, she's still a virgin, So I was really like, please reserve it, it's not supposed to be known. And then it's because, one, I didn't know the character of this nurse well, and I was actually afraid. I'll be very honest, I was afraid that it's going now to get to her colleagues, because then I was a nursing student. It's going to get to her colleagues, and it's equally going to get to my colleagues, and I didn't want my colleagues or anyone to know. So I began giving it a thought. I'm like, what should I do? And why did I feel this way? Like, I expected you to have kept it a secret, which is actually a patient, right? Because at that particular point, I was a patient. But I really felt like she had the mandate or the responsibility to keep this between us and not even share the job for which she was giving me. Because the reason it felt that way was because we've grown up in a society where virginity is never talked about. Whether it's okay to be a virgin and actually be proud of it and advocate for it. And the norm currently is sexuality. Like, if you've not had sex, or if you are still a virgin, you actually appear like a misfit in our present day society. So I was really bothered, honestly. I was like, now, what will be the case? What will be the case? What will be the case? When they get to know that I'm a virgin, will I be a misfit? No. I'm actually proud of it. I'm not afraid of it. But the biggest question was, what will be the case when my colleagues get to know you, and then unaanza kusikia tu small talks huko, by the way, So I can say that was the beginning of me actually getting to give the topic virginity, or this discussion on virginity, very, very deep thoughts. And I decided I was going to commit myself to research, especially through the Bible, and get to know where we stand. So in September, fast forward now to, that was March. In September, I went for my second job, but leave the bit of a second job. But I was working somewhere. Story time, tea indeed. I was working now somewhere in a CCC clinic. CCC clinic stands for Comprehensive Care Clinic, I guess. Comprehensive Care Clinic. So I was working there at this time, still September 2021. I'm still a student nurse. So I was working with, that day I had been assigned in a room with a clinician, clinical officer. And as we were waiting for patients queuing out there to come in, she decided to tell me or share with me about her weekend experiences and how much she had fun. Being out there with men, or maybe her boyfriend and all that. And as we were talking, she goes like, wait, I'm giving you too much information. And then she pops the question, you're a virgin and I'm telling you all this. So by now already you can guess the stories like she was telling me about. She was like really, really sharing about of how she had a good time over the weekend with, her boyfriend. So at that point, I don't know. I was actually like dumbstruck. I actually told her, yes, I'm a virgin. And she was shocked. Like her entire face, like she went into shock. Yani, I don't even have the right words to actually explain the magnitude of shock on her face. And then I thought again quickly, like, I'm not, I'm not, um, I'm not going to allow her to see me that way. So I told her, you know what? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So, like, alikuwa na kase of relief. But then, sasa at that moment, again, like, your moment, like, ika brush off. Like, we just brushed off the moment and maybe, I think a patient came in or something. But that really sent me into deep thought again. Remember, in retrospect, in March, like the reason why I didn't want this nurse to share to her colleague now was because virginity is never talked about in our present day. And it left me in the place of, is it a good thing to be known out there that you're a virgin? Or is it a bad thing to be known out there? And, the moment when she asked me that question, or the clinician, I thought to myself, actually, before I even told her yes, and then before I told her the kidding, I was like, do I just tell her that is private and it's for me to know, and I'd rather not talk about it, because it's a private affair. I was like, do I tell her that's private, like you're overstepping, that's for me to know, that's personal, like everything, to just like not talk about it. But you see, I felt like the moment I leave it at, no, I don't want to talk about it, like it's private, she'll be like, probably she had a bad experience, or probably she's a virgin, like there's the bit of lots of questions in between. So I was like, yes, I just told her yes, I'm a virgin, and then went like, I'm kidding. So we left it at the kidding bit and like brushed it off. So this again sent me into deeper thoughts. Like, it couldn't get any worse or any better. So this really had me thinking. And honestly, from that day, I made a vow to myself that never again am I ever going to open up to anyone that I'm a virgin. I don't know how to bring it into context. It felt like at that moment, now, I made a resolution. If this is the magnitude of shock on your face, you know what? I'm not sharing. Because it should be like acceptable. Like, yes, it's okay to actually be a virgin. So I vowed, like, I crossed my heart, I vowed I was never, like, in any conversation with whoever, like I said, I'm not going to open up to anyone that I'm a virgin, that I will leave it at it's private and it's personal, because of those fears inside me, that is it a good thing if I share, what will be the reception, because it's not the norm. But I'm here, my dear viewers, that we may actually converse about virginity, that we may get to share insights, and that we may grow together and join me as I make this bold step in becoming pro virginity in the 21st day century. And I'll be glad to be doing it with you, my viewers. Join the conversation. What do you think about virginity? Like, that's why I ended it at, that I made the vow that I'm not gonna talk to anyone about virginity. Say yes, I'm a virgin, or no, I'm not, or say it's private, like I'm not gonna talk about it, or kidding, like I did, until I get to know the answer, until I get to know whether yes, it's okay to talk about virginity in our present day, or no, it's not okay, and just get the light on what to do on this whole topic and this whole issue. So I would like you to share your comments down below. What do you think? Is it okay to actually share with other girls that, yes, I'm a virgin and I'm proud of it? What would you have done? If you're a gentleman, Is it okay to share with your fellow gentlemen or brothers or, guy crew that you're a virgin? What is the perspective of virginity today in the world or in the society or in the group or community that you've surrounded yourself with? If you're a lady, come on, let's have this conversation. You can hit my inbox or even in the comment section and let me know what would you have done. So in the next video, the conversation will continue. I'll be sharing or shedding more light on how far I've come with this whole story. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.